Simultaneous equations via substitution. Now for this to work, we need to keep our heads about ourselves. So we shall label this first equation and then label the second one 2. So from equation 1, which is the simplest of the equations, I know that because there are no exponents higher than 1 over here, we are going to do a general solution for x. So 3y minus x minus 4 is equal to 0. And what do I mean by a general solution? Well, if I transpose the x, it becomes positive, and then over here I'm left with 3y minus 4. So let's just place this general solution in the box, because now we'll understand why this method is called substitution. Because I am going to label this equation number 3, and then I give myself the instruction to substitute equation 3 into equation 2. So for that, everywhere where I see an x, I am just going to substitute that box into. So that says x squared, so that's the bracket, minus a bracket, and then a y. Remember, these open brackets are for my substitution. And I have y squared, and that's all equal to 3. So let's do our substitution in purple. It's that 3y minus 4, and that 3y minus 4. So let's have another color again, just to simplify. So this first bracket then becomes 9y squared minus 24y plus 16, and then over here we have, well, that's going to be 3y squared, but remember it's being multiplied by a negative, so it's minus 3y squared, and a negative gives me a positive, so that will turn into plus 4y, and then I add y squared, and I might as well transpose the 3 by subtracting it from both sides, and that's all equal to 0. So now let's add our like terms. Well, I have a 9y squared over there minus 3y squared, y squared. So if I finish that, 9 minus 3 gives me 6, plus another 1 gives me 7y squared, and then over here I have 24 and then plus 4, so that will give me minus 20y if I add those correctly. And then I'll have 16 minus 3, which gives me plus 13, and that's all equal to 0. So let's see if we can factor this. Well, that's going to be 7y minus 13, and then y minus 1. Let's double check that with our inside out. So that gives me minus 13, and that gives me minus 7, so that's minus 20. Okay, double check complete. Get back to our original blue. That's all equal to 0. And therefore, y over here is equal to 13 over 7, or y is equal to 1. Now let's not forget, we still have an x to solve for. So if we want the value of that x, that's going to be x being equal to 3 times 13 over 7, and then I can say minus 4, which will just equal to, see what the handy calculator says here, minus 4, of course, and that's going to equal 11 over 7, or for 1 the value is quite simple. 3 times 1 minus 4 gives us negative 1. Remember, that's one of the uses, or the second use of this third equation. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. So for our second one, done some pre-setup over here. So we could use this as is, but it's going to be way more comfortable to just transpose this 1 on both sides. Therefore, from equation 1, we will have that y is equal to 2x minus 1. Again, let's use a different color just to box it, and then call it equation number 3. So, and let's not deviate. So we'll substitute equation number 3 into equation number 2. And how's that gonna look? Well, it's x squared minus x, and then we'll leave a bracket open for y. Obviously it's plus 3, another bracket open. Remember that y was squared, and then we can just subtract 15 from both sides, so that we have a 0 ready and waiting on the right hand side. But of course, let's fill in our brackets. So that was 2x minus 1, and then of course another 2x minus 1. So let's simplify now. So we have x squared, that becomes minus 2x squared. Remember, two negatives multiplied give us a positive, so that's plus x. And then of course over here, let's do that in two stages. That's going to be 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. Now to simplify that, and that's minus 15 equal to 0. We can collect these like terms in the meantime, which will give us negative x squared plus x, and then distributing the 3 into that bracket, we get plus 12x squared minus 12x plus 3 minus 15 all equal to 0. So let's get careful. So that is 11x squared, because 12 minus 1 gives us 11. And then over here, what do we have? Well, minus 12 plus 1 gives us minus 11x. And then for our final term, it's just these two, which says minus 12, and that's all equal to 0. Let's see if the formula can sort this out for us. So we'll have x being equal to, well, minus 11 plus minus square root of negative 11 all squared minus 4. Our a value is 11 and our c value is negative 12, because that's b squared minus 4. You see under this a radical, and that's all over 2 times 11, which means x is equal to something, or x is equal to something else. With the magic of editing, we'll have the answer now.
A few moments later.
1,66 or the calculator just plays along. Delete, turn that negative, or negative 0,65, which means y is equal to, we'll double check that now, 2 times 0.66 minus 1, 2,32, and then secondary value, delete, 2 times minus 0.65, close bracket, or y is equal to minus 2,3. That is